Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to bring you the Vision video. Today I have this week's Study Game synopsis for you guys. In this video I'm going to go over everything they talked about on the live stream, and as always if you want to watch the full live stream, I will have a link in the description you guys can check out. But if you do enjoy the video or find it helpful, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe for more videos, and let's get right into this. Alright, so the first piece of information they actually talked about was the PTS. So the PTS is actually ending on October 1st. So you still have a couple days to get on, try out some of the new items coming into TU6. If you have been putting it off, again you have until October 1st to get on and try out the new patch. Also, they did say episode 2 or TU6 is being released mid-October. Now they didn't really provide us with a specific date, but mid-October is on the 15th and the 15th is a Tuesday. So there's a 99.9% chance that, this patch is dropping on the 15th of October. So yeah, as of right now we have a date. Again, it's not 100% confirmed, but from speculations and from from the past and previous updates, it is on the 15th. They also talked about a new specialization really quickly. They did say it is coming into TU6. We didn't really get any specific information like what it is or what it's going to do, but it is very different, they said, and from what I have seen and kind of researched and seen people talk about, this specialization is actually going to be called the Tactician. Now again, we have no information, we have no images of this at all as of right now, but it is very different and the name is pretty cool as well, Tactician. And this is again kind of according to data mining and looking into the files of the game on the PTS. Alright, the next thing I want to talk about is actually some of the changes that they are doing into TU6, and they kind of talked about the changes a little bit more in depth, and there's some graphs and stuff like that I want to show you guys. So the first thing is you will no longer be able to stack talents in TU6, and a good example is, you guys know how now on PvE builds you are always stacking hard hitting on your holster, on your chest, on your backpack, stuff like that. In TU6 you will not be able to do that anymore. Although these talents did get buffed a little bit, you will not be able to stack them anymore. So you will have a choice of using different talents. You can't really go hard hitting on everything. You can only have it on one kind of gear piece, and that's it. Some people like this, some people don't like this. I'm actually curious to see how this actually plays out and how it kind of functions in the game, but it could be a pretty interesting change. It could force you to use some talents that you haven't really used before, and who knows, maybe you can make your build a little bit better, or maybe improve your playstyle a little bit with different talents. Up next, I want to talk about some befores and afters to weapon damage, more specifically AR damage and LMG damage into TU6. So these are the charts they provided to us on the live stream. So as you guys can see, this is a before TU6 AR damage over time. You guys can see the damage and the time that it takes, and you can see the lines how each weapon kind of competes. When you reload, it goes down, when you shoot, it goes up and stuff like that. So on the right side, you have all the weapons like the ACR, the AK, AUG, etc. And this is the next chart they did show us, and this is after TU6 of pretty much all the different weapon balancing. So you guys can see the chart is much closer. So pretty much any AR you find right now should be very consistent and should be very similar into damage. So pretty much all the ARs should be viable, although the AK, as you guys can see, is a little bit on top of everything. It's still very, very more kind of compact and consistent than what it was before, which is really good. Now, again, if you find a weapon with good talents, you're not going to be, punished because it's going to be terrible with damage. It should be way closer to, everything else, so that's really cool. The next thing we do have is the LMGs. So again, you guys can see the M60 was pretty much above everything, and it did a lot of damage over time, and this was before TU6, and this is after. You guys can see again, everything is much closer together, everything is kind of balanced out, and although there might be some situations where the weapon you find is going to be a little bit better, but that's because of the talents it does have, not because of the damage output it is kind of performing and stuff. So that's pretty much the changes. Those are the two different comparisons we did get. I wish there was one for SMGs as well, but unfortunately we did not get that in the stream. The next thing they talked about was a new weapon and the new exotic knee pads, and I did go over this in my previous videos like 2 days ago or so, but if you guys didn't see them, the new weapon is a KSG. This is what it looks like, and there are some new exotic knee pads coming into TU6. This is what they look like again. They're called the Sawyer's knee pads. They're pretty good, and if you want more details about them, what they do and stuff like that, the talents, I would highly recommend checking out my previous video on the channel. The next thing that was talked about was actually improvements to movement, and there wasn't really too much specific information on this, but they did say they want to make the movement feel a little bit more crisp. When you stop, when you go, when you turn corners, when you fall down a ledge or something like that, instead of your character breaking his feet or her feet, now you're going to roll into like a combat roll and stuff like that. So pretty cool. Really excited for those improvements as well. As you guys know, this was something I've been complaining about since day one of the Division 2, that I do still think Division 1 had the best movements, but this is probably a good direction to go forward and, you know, improve the clunkiness and you know, and the kind of weird movements sometimes you get, especially on PC. Also now in TU6, you'll be able to switch specializations through loadouts, so no more going to the White House during missions or during some activities. Now you go to your loadouts, you can switch your specializations, which is really cool and really helpful. And also they're adding new loadout slots to the game. I'm pretty sure now in total there's 12 loadout slots, so if you are one of those people that have a lot of builds, a lot of different loadouts kind of equipped, you have a little bit more now in TU6, which again I think it's 12 or 10, something like that, that's coming into the game. The next piece of information we did receive is that Hipfire now forces you to walk, so no more kind of running around and hipfiring in PvP or PvE, which I think it's a good change. It's going to make you a little bit more stationary and kind of punish you for hipfiring. As you guys know, everyone pretty much hipfires in PvP, so now if you want to deal with it, it is going to make you kind of walk, so that's that. The last piece of information they did mention was that unique loot is coming to the Dark Zone. So as you guys know, in TU6, unique loot is a thing, and now you have a chance of getting a Fenris backpack or a chest piece that has a specific talent on it that is pretty much going to improve your build a little bit. It's pretty much like a best in slots. But they did also confirm and say that unique loot is being in the DZ, and you can only get this unique loot, some of them, from the DZ. So pretty cool, I would say. It's going to kind of make you and force you to go in the Dark Zone, maybe farm some NPCs, some control points, whatever, and get some of this unique loot that is only exclusive in the DZ. I know some people are not going to like this because some people never go into the Dark Zone, but you don't have to PvP, you don't have to do anything special. All you got to do is kill some NPCs, and hopefully you get lucky and, you know, this unique loot drops for you. It's not a lot. I'm sure it's not, you know, a crazy number of pieces that are only Dark Zone exclusive, but some of them are unique to the Dark Zone. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the video. Thank you all so much for watching. If you guys have any questions or comments about the video or the changes, let me know in the comment section below. I'll try to get back to you as soon as possible. But once again, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to leave a like, subscribe to my videos, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.